Hey, Patrick Summers here, President and CEO of General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Listen, I've got Andrew, our plumbing manager, with me here in our warehouse, and I want to talk to you about something really exciting. And it's water quality, water filtration, water purification. And we all know that everybody drinks bottled water. I don't think people drink water out of a tap anymore. But now we're learning about microplastics. So now you got to drink water out of glass, which is not cheap. But here's the thing. You could be drinking all the water in the world out of the most purest glass, out of the most purest source, but you're still washing your clothes, washing your dishes, and washing your body in the tap water. Now, why is that bad? Well, according to the EPA, it's not bad. You see, the levels of the stuff in our water are at safe levels. So if you're talking to me, I don't really know if there's a safe level for arsenic or a safe level for aluminum. What are some of the other crap in the water?
Oh, the list goes on. There's uranium, heavy metals, tons of nitrates, which is essentially fertilizers. Basically, everything that's put out into the world eventually makes its way to the water table.
What was the stuff Aaron Brockovich, which wasn't far from here, San Bernardino?
So that's chromium hexavalent, and the water districts are actually just now developing a program to deal with chromium hexavalent. And it's not really that difficult to remove, but to remove it on a large scale is difficult. So it falls onto the homeowner to protect themselves until those programs are developed. And since factually, you're going to absorb more contaminants, more pollutants through your skin than you will ever drink. So thinking that I have an RO system or a reverse osmosis system at home and I'm drinking purified water, that's half the battle, and it's a great step. So if we were to get a whole home reverse osmosis system, I've designed and installed many of those. That is an equipment heavy process, and you're looking at between 70 and 120 grand. So for about the 10th of a price, we have options available where we are almost to the same quality as a whole home reverse osmosis system. Fluoride, incredibly difficult to remove. It removes fluoride. Nitrates, incredibly difficult to remove. Also softens and conditions the water far better than a traditional softener without putting salt back into our sewer systems, which is also an issue. Without getting too technical, this is the best you can get for the money, and we're happy to have it as an offering.
And to be clear, a lot of the contaminants in the water, not all of them, but many of them are naturally occurring, right?
More than people think.
Yeah. And so it's not like all our water is contaminated from horrible stuff. It's naturally occurring. But the point is, like, why drink it? Why let it absorb to your skin if you don't have to? Ultimately, that's why we're drinking bottled water that is reverse osmosis. Many of it's reverse osmosis. Mm-hmm. There are others that are from springs and volcanic stuff and all that fancy stuff. But the reality is the water should be as pure as possible, just like our air should be as pure as possible. The question has always been, well, I got to drink bottled water. So you drink bottled water, and now you find out about all the leaching and nasty stuff if that water sits in your car and warms up, right? And then we're hearing about microplastics. The microplastics, to me, is one of the scariest things. You can actually, like, they're finding it in people's bodies. It's crazy. So now it's like, okay, now what do we do? Well, I get this spring water that is in glass. Mm-hmm. The problem is it's expensive.
Yeah.
And so, man, what do we do? And then when we've talked about, well, how stuff gets absorbed to your skin and your hair, I mean, let's think about it. You go to the pool, you're swimming in a lot of chlorine. Your hair even starts to turn color if you're in it too much. So why have that in our bodies? And how do you remove it, at least at the source, or not at the source level, at your home level? And so this is probably some of the coolest technology that's come along in a long time.
I didn't think that I would be alive for something like this to actually come to fruition. Navien, they spent more money than anybody else was willing to spend, and they have created a modern miracle. And it is the most impressive water filtration machine that I've come in contact with. So we're happy to be able to offer this to everybody.
And the cool thing with Navien is, so we've installed Navien tankless for quite a while. They've been around for a very long time, and their tankless is probably one of the most advanced, easiest to work on early adapter of technology. And then when I heard that they got into the water filtration and softening, it's amazing. And I remember we got our first one, and it's sitting out here. It's in a box. I'm like, this doesn't look like anything like we typically, because they're usually cylinders, right? And there's 2 cylinders or 3. And if you want soft water, there's a separate one for the salt, which is not good for our utilities, our water system.
Nope.
And then this thing, and it's compact. It's much smaller than what you'd need for a whole home, right?
This is about as compact as you can get to do the heavy lifting that it does. It has some really, really neat technology. There's nothing else really quite like it. It has some really cool features to it, especially with reducing scale, reducing hardening materials. We can actually show really, really positive results from a desert environment. We've been working with Navien and Navien's team of engineers, as this is a very new unit. And as we install them, they've been involved to go out, check those levels, and they're always looking to improve. So they're out there on these sites and gaining more and more information to just make the next level of this even better.
And I just found out this filters out the fluoride.
Like, I've done tons of well systems, tons of water quality in general, and fluoride is extremely difficult. Normally you have to test the water, see the fluoride level, add fluoride filters, test the water again, see how much you've reduced it, and continue the process till it gets to the acceptable level. This thing pretty much just knocks it out. And fluoride, even on the back of your toothpaste that you have now, it'll tell you, do not swallow this, because it is toxic. It has other benefits, but it should not be in your body. So this is just one more way to ensure that you keep those levels down.
And then the other thing is the chlorine. So the chlorine gets put in the water at the facility, the treatment plant, right? And the chlorine is there, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but is there to make sure, because we have aging infrastructure, and there's pipes that this water has to travel throughout the cities and towns to get to your home. And that could become compromised. And so you could have contaminants leaking in, and the chlorine basically makes that water, keeps it safe and drinkable till it gets to your home.
The chlorine is for your biological threats. So your bacterias, your microorganisms, any kind of mold or any kind of organic compound that can turn into things that make people sick. Chlorine's excellent at removing those. It's not necessarily excellent once it enters the human body. It's relatively easy to filter out, but they don't really have a better way to do it. Now that they've come out with UV lights, that's only really good for the end termination point. So right before it gets to your faucets, gets to those things, because it can pick up new bacteria as it travels. So it's not really a viable option for large scale filtration. But yeah, everything that we have to put in, there's side effects to everything, and helping minimize that and actually removing them, not just neutralizing them with another compound, is the next step that this accomplishes. Complete removal of many things.
And, you know, on the HVAC side, when we talk about whole home filtration and purification of the air, the same concepts apply to the water. And we always say either buy a filter or be a filter, right? And there's filters in HVAC that are designed to stop small rocks and children from getting up into your ductwork. That's a joke, by the way. But essentially, they just protect the equipment from large contaminants getting into the system, into the coil. The real high efficiency filtration is the thick media. A MERV rating of 16 or is ideal, is the best, hospital grade, along with UV air purification and things like that. So now the same concept applies here. You either buy a filter or be a filter.
Absolutely. And that goes with pretty much anything from the air. If it makes it through the filter, it's going into you. If you have chlorine and all these other contaminants that you're not treating at the home level, those are getting passed right on into you. And while some things don't easily go into your skin, let's say you have a cut or you have some kind of compromised skin condition, that's all it needs to go ahead and get inside. So it's better just to not have those as a threat to you in the first place. We're now in the age where we can pretty much remove anything that we want to. And with this invention here, we can make that available to far more people and far more budgets than we ever could with standard reverse osmosis.
Yeah, and so the other thing is, I like to say, let's make Aaron Brockovich proud. All right. Let's get us the cleaning water we can possibly have. Uh, Even though things may be at safe levels, the reality is, I don't know if you would pick up arsenic, let's say, for example, that was a safe amount and put it on your mouth. But essentially, that's what you're doing if you're drinking the water that has it at safe levels. Again, it's completely safe. It's been determined by the EPA that it's safe. It's also been determined that a lot of the stuff in our food is safe. However, there's a great debate about that. So if you're somebody that's really self-aware, self-conscious, what it means to have clean air, clean water, clean food, all of that, there's a solution. And one of the great things is Andrew's team is phenomenal at this. He's been spending a lot of time, a lot of resources in getting the plumbers dialed in on the science of water quality. So give us a call. We will send one of our highly trained, delightfully joyful plumbers to your home. And not only can they help you with any plumbing issue you may have, they will do a water quality test and we can custom design. Andrew works with the engineers that design this, that are experts in water quality, and custom design a solution for your home and what you're trying to accomplish. So give us a call, 760-343-7488, or go online at callthegeneral.com. Andrew, anything you want to add?
It's a conversation worth having, and the more you know that you would be able to have options at your disposal for your unique situation. So yeah, call the General, and we'd be happy to have a conversation with you about making your home safer and more comfortable.